Okay, so today we are going to be focusing on models. How do we feel about the topic models? Do we remember what it's about? Have we done it already in class? Where are we at with models? How do we feel? Thumbs up, thumbs down, great, not so great. I, for one, really enjoy the topic. So once it clicks, it's amazing. Yeah, as Kia said, not the models on the runway. Fortunately, that's not the mathlet one. But anyone, how do we feel about models? We're not so familiar with it. Confusing at times. Okay. Whew. Good to know that you guys can hear me. Not so familiar. Okay, cool. So it's not a commonly asked question in the finals. It can be asked, but it's not a common question. But I think it does help you understand measurement and 3D shapes, specifically cylinders and rectangular prisms. It helps you just understand those two shapes a lot better. Okay, so like it says on the screen, this section helps us determine the most cost-effective and appropriate way to package cans or boxes for optimal use of space. So this whole section is about packaging. How do we fit balls into a rectangular container? How many balls will fit into a container? How many small boxes can fit into a really big box? Or how many big boxes can fit into a shipping container, for example. So it's putting smaller objects into bigger packages, determining how many fit into those packages. Okay, so we're going to look at an example first. So I'm going to help you with this one, walk you through it. The question asks, how many cans of coffee could fit into the below box if the diameter of each tin is 100 millimeters and its height is 120 millimeters. Okay, so they've given us all the dimensions, which is really very important in these questions. Okay, so they have given us the size of the can, the size of the box. We want to know how many of these coffee cans can fit into the box. So I'm just going to redraw this image to help us, because you might wonder, why do we need the diameter? Why have they given us the diameter of the can? Got a square box, okay, or rectangular box, and we want to know how many cans can fit into this box. So can you agree we could use our diameter, that's one edge of the circle to the other edge, which is 100 millimeters. Another can goes in, that's 100 millimeters. Okay, another one is 100 millimeters. Okay, so now to work out how you would calculate how many cans can fit into this box, you're going to do it dimension by dimension. So you're first going to work out how many cans will fit along the length of the box. Then you figure out or calculate how many fits along the width of the box. And then we could also add the height. So if we look at the length of our box, the length of the box is 500 millimeters. Okay, so I'm going to take my length and I'm going to try to see how many coffee cans fit in. So how many times 100 millimeters can fit in. So in order to do that, I'm going to divide by the diameter of the coffee can. So that means I can fit 5 coffee tins or 5 coffee cans along the length. So almost got the picture. Okay, I then work out how many cans fits along the width of the box. So I take the width of my box, which is 300, divide by the diameter, which means 3 cans can fit along the width. Okay, then Just want to create some more space here quickly. We've got a third dimension, which is the height, because maybe we can fit a few layers of coffee cans. So I'll look at the height of my box, which is, I go back up quickly, 240. So I take my height, 240 millimeters, divide by the height of the coffee can. So I'm going height versus height. The height of the coffee can is 120 millimeters. So divide by 120. And that means I could basically have 2 layers. 2 cans can fit on top of each other in this box. Okay, so now that just tells me how many fits along the length. We have worked out that 5 can fit along the length and 3 can fit along the width. So it's like that. And we figured out we can have 2 layers. But does that tell us how many cans we have in total? No. So if we had to look at that, that would just tell us we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cans in the box. But what about this space over here? So if you really wanted to, you could go and draw the cans, get your 3 rows and times by 2 layers. But the shortcut to work out our total is just times all our answers together. So 5 cans times by 3 times by 2, which gives you a total of 30 coffee cans that can fit into this box. Nice, Ortile. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go up for those of you that joined in late. Okay. Okay, so models is pretty much figuring out how many items can fit into our container, whether it is a rectangular, square, or cylindrical shape. We're trying to see how it all fits in. Okay. And then we always do the shortcut method where we take all of our answers and we times it by each other to give us the total number of cans or total number of balls, total number of boxes, whatever we are looking at. Okay, so that was an example of trying to fit cylindrical coffee cans into a rectangular box. Now, we've got our box full of coffee cans. So now picture our box. We want to now pack a container with these boxes. So this container is what they use for shipping the products. It's a big container. We want to see how many of our coffee boxes can fit into this container. So now we're still looking at, well, now we're looking at rectangles and rectangles. There's no cylinders or circles involved here. So we need to figure out, we've got all our dimensions for both the box and the container. They've now also told us how the boxes are going to be packed in this container. So we need to figure out how many boxes can fit into this container if we had to pack it this way. So can you see, we've got the width of our box along the length of our container. So to work out how many boxes fit along the length of my containers, I take the length of my container, which is 12,2 meters, and I'm going to divide by the width of my box because it's been packed that way. Okay, so it's important for them to specify how it's going to be packed. So it's going to be 300, 300, 300, 300 along the length. So I'm going to say divide by 300 millimeters. Now, before I can actually work this out, you'll notice that I'm dealing with 2 different units. So you can convert to either one. I'm going to convert my meters to millimeters, but you could take your millimeters to meters if you want to, you'll end up with the same answer. So in order for me to convert, I'm going to times by 1,000. Remember, this is a conversion you need to know off by heart. So that would give you 12,200 millimeters divided by 300. Okay, and that will give me 40,67 boxes. So that is telling me how many boxes are going to fit along the length, but they are saying 40,67. So that means you can only fit 40 complete boxes. There's a little bit of space for just over half a box, but there's going to be a gap, and the gap is not big enough for our 41st box. Okay, so it's going to be rounded to 40 boxes. I know based on just general rounding rules, we want to round up to 41, but there's not enough space for a whole nother box. So it can only fit 40 complete boxes. Okay, so that's how many can fit along the length. I'm going to ask you guys to please work out how many fit along the width and how many fit along the height, please. So I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds to take a screenshot of the length if you need, and I'm going to go up to the question. So you guys can work out how many boxes fit along the width and how many in the height, and then you can work out the total number of boxes that will fit into this container. If you need help, raise your hand, let us know. So the width of the small box is the 300, but because they are packing it in this specific way, we have to use the width of the small box along the length of the big container. So for our width of the container, okay, that's going to be our 2.60 meters, but the boxes are packed lengthways. So this part that goes against our width is the 500. Okay, so it'll be 500, 500, 500, just based on the way it's packed. It's not always going to be width along the width. Okay. Good question. Okay, does anyone have an answer as to how many boxes fit along the width of this container? of my container based on the picture over here is 2,45. Which in millimeters. Gives you 4,9 boxes, but remember, because we are dealing with actual objects, there's not enough space for a whole fifth box, so we round to 4. Okay, then we see how many boxes fit along the height. Okay, so what did we get for the height? Okay, I'm getting 2 different answers here. Anyone else want to try? Let's see. Ruyanda. Nice. Okay, so if we look at the heights, let's see who else is. Okay, so yes. So our height of the container is 2,60 meters divided by the height of the box. If we look at the box, here is our height, which is 240. Okay, so I'm going to convert the meters to millimeters. Again, you could convert it the other way and make both dimensions meters, and that gives you 10,83 boxes, and we know to round down, so that is 10 boxes. Okay, so I see that this bottom picture was a bit confusing by putting the height amount there, because that looks like the width. So that also got me a little bit. But if we look at the first picture, we compare those dimensions. They were just showing us that the boxes were packed widthways along the length of the container. Okay, and now that we have how many fit along the width, how many fit along the length, and how many layers, how many boxes in total can we fit into this container? What did we get? 1,600 boxes. Correct. Okay, so total, take our 40 times by 4 times by 10, and we get 1,600 boxes. Nice, Leander. Nice, Ben. Well done. Awesome. Okay, so that was rectangles within rectangles. Let's have a look at another question. Okay, so can you see similar shapes again? Cylindrical cans in rectangular boxes. So I'm going to ask you guys to quickly try question 1 for me. It would be nice if one of you could explain to me how you do this as well. It would be nice to hear from you guys. Does anyone want to unmute and let me know how they worked out how many cans fit along the length or width or height? Any of them? Anyone want to unmute and share with us? Anyone? Okay, so we have Luyanda opt-in for the chats. Cool.
Hey, we have some
Mpiwe. Hello.
Simpiwe, you should see a little message pop up on your screen asking you to unmute.
Hello
There we
guys,
go.
how are you? Hello
Oh,
guys,
good.
how are you?
Good, and you?
My width, I've counted my width like this. So it's 2,45 meters times 1,000 divided by 100 meters. So, oh no, sorry guys, sorry, it's a mistake. It's another thing, okay.
No
My
worries.
length on this box, my length on this box, I've said 480 meters divided by 100 meters is equals to 4,88 meters. And then my width, I've calculated 360 meters divided by 100 meters. It is equals to 3,6 meters. And then my height of the box, I've counted 120 meters divided by 100 meters, and it's equals to 1,2 meters. I don't know whether I'm correct or I'm wrong. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, no, thank you so much for speaking. It's so great to hear your voice. Thank you. So Simpiwe, all the methods is correct, but I think you might have just misread the diameter of the can. So you said it was 100.
Okay.
So I think you just misread it. So it's meant to be 480 divided by 120, not by 100. Okay, which would give you a whole number, 4 cans.
Okay.
But otherwise, the method is fantastic. It was just the wrong diameter. So well done.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, so yes, like Simpiwe said, the width of our box is 360 centimeters. We divide by the diameter of 120. It's all the same units, so it's just a basic division. You get 3 cans in the width, and the height, only 1 can. Well, we can only have 1 layer in this box. Okay, so that means, let's see, I see some answers in the chat. Do we have a total? Yes, nice, Shells, nice, Ben. Yes, Mukhadi. Okay, so our total is 4 times 3 times 1 gives us 12 cans. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, you guys are getting this. Not so bad. Okay, let's try a question where there are no pictures involved. So now we actually have to visualize it. You guys are welcome to draw a picture to try and understand it. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to try number 2. Kaylee wants to plant some roses to sell at a local market. To grow properly, each rose bush needs a circular area that has a diameter of 60 centimeters. She has a flower bed that is 4,8 meters long by 3,2 meters wide. What is the maximum number of rose bushes Kaylee can plant in the flower bed? Okay, so it's just important to note the important parts. So we have rose bushes that are circular. Okay, so that means we're looking at a diameter of 60 centimeters. She's told us a length and a width of the flower bed. So that means it's going to be a rectangle. The length is 4,8 meters and the width is 3,2. So same shapes, we just can't see them now. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to try this. Let me know how many rose bushes she can plant. Okay, anyone want to tell me how they did a part of the calculation, length, width, or total? Anyone want to speak to us? Don't be shy. It's a nice topic. You guys clearly understand it. Any takers? Okay, anyone want to let us know in the chat? I see Caleb's given us an answer. Let's see everyone else's answers. What is the total number of rose bushes we can plant in this garden bed or flower bed? Okay, so I'm seeing different answers. Let's see if we've got any more. Don't be discouraged. We'll learn from our mistakes. Luyanda, for the length, that is correct. Ketso, well done. Do you want to tell us how you got that, Koketso? Leah, any of you want to unmute to let us know how you got that answer? Okay, that is correct, but we need to round down for the final number of bushes in the width. Okay, so let's have a look at how we do this. So if we can't visualize, you are more than welcome to try draw a picture to understand it. Okay, so I sometimes do it, nothing wrong. They tell us that the garden bed is a rectangle. We can see that because they told us it's got a width of 3.2 meters and a length of 4.8 meters. And we know that the rose bushes are going to be a circular shape and it's going to be 60 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to have a couple of rose bushes like this. Okay, so that is the visual we're going for. So to work out how many rose bushes fit along the length, we take the length of the garden bed, divide by the diameter, which is 60 centimeters. We then need to just make sure, do we have the same units? No, we don't. So you can either make both dimensions meters, or you can convert both to centimeters. So I prefer going to centimeters, but it doesn't matter. From meters to centimeters, we times by 100. Remember, we need to know this off by heart. So it's 480 centimeters divided by 60 centimeters, which gives us 8 bushes along the length. Okay, then we have our width of 3,2 meters. Diameter is still 60. If I convert that to centimeters, it's going to give me 320 centimeters. Divide by 60, which gives us 5,33, and we round down. Can only fit 5 bushes. Okay, and our usual total, 8 times 5, which means we can fit 40 bushes into that flower bed. Nice. Nice, Mukhadi. Yes, 40 in total. Nice, Koketso. All right, so for those of you that got a slightly different answer, please just check. If you don't see where you've gone wrong, let us know. Okay, well done. Okay, so as you can see, it's the same shapes over and over again. It's either a circular shape in a rectangle or rectangles with rectangles. So let's have a look at question 3. Determine how many boxes will fit into the display below. Determine how many boxes will fit into the display below. So they're giving you all the dimensions, the length, width, and height of the display, as well as the length, width, and height of the box. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to try and see how many boxes fit into that display. If you need help, let us know. You can drop us a message in the chat. Sheesh, Kazima, that was amazingly quick. Just want to go through all of these quickly. Some POA, just check, are you comparing length with length? So the longest side of the display, the 4,6 divided by the 0,23, length versus length. Caleb, well done. Ruyanda, for your length. Yes, great. Nice, Ortile. So from those of you that go right, does anyone want to explain? Can I hear your voices by any chance? Caleb, you were first. So it's Caleb and Ben. Let's ask Caleb to please explain how you did the length and the width, and Ben, you can take the height and total part of the question.
We have Caleb and Ben whose hands are up. So I think I'm going to unmute Ben first because their
Caleb
hand went
first.
up. Sorry, yes, Caleb. That's what I actually meant. There we go.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Caleb. How are
Caleb.
you?
So what I did was I took 4.6 meters and divided it by 23, which gave me 20.
Awesome.
And,
On the dot, say.
and then for the width,
Yeah.
I took two meters,
Mm-hmm.
divided it by 0.2, and it gave me 10.
Perfect. Thank you. Well done. Looks like you really understand this topic.
Well done, Caleb.
Right.
Well done. Okay, Ben, can you complete the answer for us? The height, how many boxes in the height, and the total?
He put his hand down, so I'm not
Put
too
his
sure if he
hand
still
down.
wants to talk to. There we go.
Yeah, for the height, it's
Uh-huh.
1,8 divided by 0, and then I got 9.
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
You got 9.
9.
Mm.
1,8 divided by 0,12.
Yeah. Oh no, 0,2.
0,2. Let me just quickly check here. Okay, so let's just bin. Height of the box is this one over here, the 0,12, and the height of the display is 1,8. But you still managed to get the total answer of 3,000, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just check. So what was your answer? You got 9, you said.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Unless you... Okay, so just quickly check the height part. So the height of the display is 1,8, and we're dividing by the height of the box, which is 0,12. And then if we add all of those together, Ben, you got a total of how many boxes?
3,000.
3,000. Well done. Perfect. Thank you so much, Ben. Nice to hear your voice. Always so quick on the chat, so it was good to hear from you. Thank you so much. Well done. Thanks, Caleb, as well. Good to hear from you too. Okay, looks like for the most part, we all got that answer. Are there any questions? Because I see some of us did get confused with the dimensions. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. What I did like about this is that the way they showed us the box, it was easier to see that the length, remember length is our longest side of the box and it's facing the same way. So the length of our display is like in line with it. It's 4,6, our longest side. And then the width is the side measurements. Okay, so we need to match length with length, width with width, height with height. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next one. Another one without a picture. So let's have a look. Leah has picked up 500 tennis balls over the years and would like to pack them in a box that measures 80 centimeters by 60 centimeters by 45 centimeters. If a tennis ball has a diameter of 7 centimeters, determine if all the tennis balls will fit in the box. Okay, so just a reminder, we did do this with floor plans and dimensions and scale. The times sign over here means by. So 80 centimeters by 60 centimeters by 45 centimeters. So we've got tennis balls that need to fit into a rectangular box. They tell us the diameter of a tennis ball is 7 centimeters. So we need to find out if 500 tennis balls will fit into this box. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to try that out. Okay, if you have answers, let's hear them or see them. What did we get? Luyanda, yes, with your height, that is correct. I'm seeing that most of us are saying yes, 500 tennis balls can fit into this box. And yes, it can, because how many balls can the box hold? Okay, let's quickly check our calculation. So Leander, there's one incorrect number there. 11 and the 8 are correct. It's the 7. That's incorrect. Maybe it's just rounding. So let's check. Okay, so based on what I can see, most of you do understand this. You did get it right. So let's work out how many balls fit along the length of the box. So it's our 80 centimeters divided by the diameter. Gives you 11,43, and we know to always round down when it comes to these kinds of questions. Okay, the width is 60 divided by 7. Gives us 8,57, and we round down. Height, how many balls can fit along the height? It is 45 divided by 7. The nice thing about circles or having the diameter, it doesn't matter if you get the dimensions confused, you're dividing by 7 all the time. Okay, and then that gives us an answer of 6 balls. So in total, the box can hold 11 times 8 times 6, which is 528 balls. And then we need to answer the question, which most of you did remember to do, which is great. Yes, the balls will fit. Because that is what the question is asking. Will they fit or not? Okay, well done. Awesome. Luyan, did you check the height? Okay. All right, let's give it one more try. Last question for the evening. The Bean There coffee shop uses heat insulated food delivery bags to deliver coffee. Using the dimensions below, determine how many cups of coffee would the bag be able to accommodate. And then just a side note, there will only be one layer of coffee cups in this bag. So let's see how many coffee cups we can fit into this bag. It looks like a box, but just pretend it's a bag. You can share your answers when you're ready. How many did we get along the length, shells, and Kazimla? And how many did we get along the width? Okay, let's have a look at the calculations. So our length of the bag is 35 centimeters. The diameter is 90 millimeters. Okay, so I'm going to convert my 90 to centimeters. So I divide by 10. Remember to always show your conversion. If you are converting, you get a mark for the conversion. Okay, so 35 centimeters divided by 9 gives you 3,89. So that means 3 cups along the length. And then width, if you have a look at the width, it's actually the same. So it's a square box or bag divided by the diameter of 9. Okay, which gives you 3,89. So we round to 3 cups. So in total, I just say 3 times 3. We're not taking height into consideration because of the part where they say there's only one layer. So I just take the width times the length. So in total, it's going to be 9 cups of coffee that can fit into this bag. Okay, so I see we got quite a few different answers. Do we have any questions? Or do we see where we went wrong? Let me know. If we don't have any questions, how did you guys feel about today's lesson? How do you feel about models? Is it making more sense? Did you enjoy the lesson? Am I feeling a bit more confident? Am I going to see you next week? It's a nice topic. Thank you. It is quite nice once you get it, once you get the hang of it. And we had quite a bit of practice tonight. You guys worked really, really hard. Good, getting to understand it a bit more. Nice, Oratile. As long as it's getting a little bit easier and better to understand. Nice. I'm glad, Leah. But thanks so much for joining tonight, guys. I know it's a bit hard because it's exam time now. So we do have a lot less than normal. But these lessons will still continue from next week onwards. We are going to be doing exam revision. So for 6 lessons, I'm going to be practicing paper 1 questions for the first 3 lessons. The last 3 lessons will be paper 2, past paper questions based on the main topics of each paper. So I hope to see you guys there for the next 3 weeks. And yeah, same time, same place next week, Monday and Wednesday. And I hope that you guys have a good rest of your week and the exams go well. Oh no, Leah, you're writing on Friday and Monday. So please let us know how it goes on Monday. All the best. Just remember you can check our past lessons, the recordings on the Watobe website or YouTube for the lessons you maybe didn't attend. Maybe that could help you a little bit. But all the best. You've been working hard, so I'm sure it will go well.